Alofa lava, and welcome to another session of In the Kitchen, where we bring a Pacific expert to you, the viewer, and learn about their innovation, etc. And today we are looking at, this is part of our series around digitalization and what that means in the food landscape for the Pacific, and it's in partnership with FAO. Now, to introduce the concept, I'm going to turn to Xiang Yun Yao from FAO. Yao, if you could please say a few words.
Dear reviewers, it's my great pleasure to open today's In the Kitchen episode, produced in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. This episode is especially close to my heart, as it will be highlighting the centrality of science and innovation for positive transformation of agri-food systems, nutrition, and the environment. Why this topic is so important. Small islands developing states, or SEAs, are facing a number of common challenges. Among them are remoteness, small and disparate geographics, population and economies, vulnerability to natural disasters linked to climate change, dependence on the imported foods and tourism, and high incidence of non-communicable diseases. Exacerbated by the still ongoing COVID pandemic, these challenges can only be tackled by harnessing and sharing science, technology, and innovation. Innovation is not only about new technologies or advanced technologies. It also includes social, institutional, policy, and financial innovation. And it's about new ways of thinking and collaborating. And the indigenous knowledge and locally grown innovations should count as well. To reach impact at scale, we must develop new and transformative partnerships, including with the private sector and the civil society. This In the Kitchen episode is here to do just that, share experiences and exchange ideas on how increased innovation and digitalization can help SEAs and the rest of the world to achieve these multiple and cross-cutting development targets. Collectively, we can and we must do more to place science and innovation firmly at the center of our decision and action. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for setting us up there. And today we have Samoa with us, and I'd like to introduce Samoan Sam Saili. Sam's been in the ICT sector for a long, long time around innovation, systems analysis, project management, development of mobile apps. And he's a member of the Royal Society for the Encouragement of Arts, Manufacturers and Commerce, twice selected as one of Samoa Observer's People of the Year in 2017 and 2019. And he's the co-founder alongside his 12 siblings, is that right, Sam?
That's correct.
of Sky Eye Samoa, a technology company that operates in Samoa, the Solomons, Tonga, and Vanuatu. But what we're talking about today is an app that you've developed called Maua. And I've just been looking at it, Sam. It's. I wish I was in Samoa when I look at what you've got on this app. But give me the idiot's view, assume I know nothing, and describe Maua to our audience.
Thank you very much, Robert, for that introduction. So the simple view or description of the Maua app is like Amazon, PayPal, and Uber all rolled into one app. And the app's vision is to bridge the digital divide and include our grassroots vendors into the digital economy.
I mean, I look at this and I reflect on my life in New Zealand, and I do Uber Eats and on one app, and I order my groceries on another app, and I do something on another app, and you've got everything, as you said, in one app. So it's super convenient. It's really making slow food fast in many ways. Of course, I'm going right to the food position on this. And you are, it's like you're the back end. It's like you're the banking system that sits behind the the consumer and the provider. Is that a correct way to describe it?
Yes, so our platform has three different apps. So there's the app for the buyer, there's the app for the seller or the vendor, and then there's the app for the driver. And in the back end, we work to bring all those apps together so that the buyer, the seller, and the driver have a seamless experience when someone places an order. And we have integrated, as you mentioned, like the banking infrastructure at the bank, where we've introduced digital payments into the platform.
Of course, I go right to Women in Business Development because I love all their organic product. If I have a friend in Samoa and I'm in New Zealand, can I gift them something from Women in Business through your app?
Absolutely. And that is majority now of the volume that we're getting. Is our population in New Zealand and Australia buying healthy food and also any food, even medicine, they buy for the families in Samoa, and that's a way of them to take care of their families. And we're very happy to provide that platform.
That's amazing. I mean, so in a way, you're a food version or a service version of what remittances once were.
Yes, and as we understand with our diaspora population, there's sometimes some reluctance to sending cash because they want to make sure that the money goes to exactly where it's needed. So now our families overseas in Australia, New Zealand, and globally, America as well, can select what they want to contribute to their family in Samoa. Because we have hardware, we have pharmacies, we have supermarkets, and of course our fresh food vendors like Women in Business, Potasi Development Trust, and they can place and have it all delivered to their families within an hour, depending on where they live. So
that's unbelievable. This is the value of being in a small country, right? You're very connected. You probably know the drivers, you probably know the vendors, and they probably know you. So it can all happen through quite succinct communication systems. An hour, that's unbelievable. And man, you've got everyone on here. So let me ask you a couple of pragmatic questions. So obviously it's great for people who are out of the country supporting their ainga in Samoa. Domestically, who are your customers and what do they look for?
Right. So domestically, it's always the buyers are those that are quite busy and have quite a busy schedule and are looking for convenience and also looking for quality because the platform is vetted. Every vendor is vetted, and the platform also have verified user reviews. So unless you've bought something from the vendors, you don't get that option to review the vendors' products and the quality and everything like that. So people can read the reviews first before they buy. And it's always the user reviews that people trust. And we want to have, because the platform is something new to the Pacific Islands. So we need to build up that trust. And we believe having other people comment and say how reliable a vendor is, how reliable the platform is in terms of delivery. So those are important. So for our local buyers, it's those that are looking for convenience, looking for quality, and trying to make sure that as everyone is involved. They have a wide variety of who they can choose from.
What have been, Sam, it's such a great idea. I mean, it's like one of those ideas that when it's there, everyone was like, why didn't this happen 15 years ago? You know what I mean? Which is always a sign of a good idea. What have been the challenges? Because this is, I should imagine from your end, this is significant investment in infrastructure and relationships and systems. What have your challenges been?
Right. Well, you mentioned the idea, and yes, the inspiration came when me and my siblings and mom and many siblings sat down for dinner, and we were looking around the table, and there was a lot of imported and processed food, and we were commenting, would be awesome if we can get our Samoa delicacies right now. And the balsami, fa'aife, all the organic, delicious, nutritious food. But it's very difficult to get it because we'll have to get in a vehicle and drive around trying to look for these delicacies. And my sister said, "Well, we have technology. We work with GPS and we work with vehicles, so we can GPS all the vendors, and then we can find where they are and we can order straight away." So
Mm,
that's where the was born from. Was trying it's about convenience and getting access to delicious local organic food. But the
mm,
challenges, as you mentioned, there's quite a lot of challenges. First was the digital payment side of things.
mm.
Now, the Pacific has been forgotten in terms of digital payments, especially with the financial banking system, where we don't have easy access to get credit card payment facilities for small vendors. And having, because if you do anything on e-commerce, digital payments is critical. But
Yeah.
Samoa and most of the Pacific has been forgotten about
Mm.
this. So we had to create our own payment gateway
Wow,
to
that's
integrate.
massive. That's a banking system that you've created.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to create our own payment gateway, and we linked in various players. So the first and the most accessible digital payments in the Pacific is mobile money. So Vodafone's M-Tala or M-Paisa and Digicel's MyCash. So those were the first ones that we integrated because of accessibility. So people
Mm.
can use their mobile money to pay for any product or service that is on the platform. Then we were able to pull in Stripe Australia. We had to register
And
as a
what is
company.
Stripe, Sam?
Stripe is like PayPal. It's
Right.
it's pretty much like another version of PayPal, but with a lot better integration and a lot better reach in the Pacific.
Got it.
So this allowed us to accept credit card and debit card payments globally. So
Mm.
Stripe is able to accept about 150 countries globally.
Wow.
So anyone globally, if they're on the Maua app, they can buy the product. And for our vendors, one of the milestones that we had is a lady that's selling fresh produce at the market.
Mm.
She got an order from America for fresh produce for their family to be delivered. And that vendor has now accepted credit card payment without
Mm.
them knowing, without
Right.
having a credit card facility,
Yeah, yeah.
registering for all the hurdles that you have to go through to accept credit card payments. But that vendor on that day accepted credit card payments without even knowing it. And
That's
that's
fantastic.
the
I
yes.
mean, that's the beauty of e-commerce. It's about making commerce easy for consumers and providers that may not have access to systems that facilitate that. I mean, I see this in such a big way, actually. I mean, you've mentioned health. I mean, you know, and the example of your own family eating processed food and saying, we really want real food on the table, but it's too hard to get. So there's a big implication in health. There's an implication in climate change because the less food is imported and the more
Yes.
local healthy food is consumed, that's a climate change mitigation measure. There's a national economic implication around food imports and robust local economies being supported by your system. Do you think of all this when you do your dreaming and planning from Maui?
Yes, we do have very strong beliefs in, as I mentioned in our vision, to include our grassroots vendors, those that don't have the resources to
Mhm.
build their own websites, to have their own credit card facilities, to include them into the digital economy, because
Mhm.
this is how the world is operating. It's through digital means, and if we don't offer this kind of access to our grassroots vendors, then they will be left behind, which is
Mm.
a great sadness because they have so much to offer. As you mentioned, they have the best food, the most nutritious food, and to include them into this convenience of digital economy, I think it's a win-win for definitely for the local economy.
You know what I love about what you just said, and this happens every time I interview someone from the Pacific about their vision or their plan or their dream, is they always put their community first. It's a very Pacific trait. You just did it right then. You were like, including the small farmers and the digital economy. That's been a real challenge for a minute at a ministry level. It's almost been impossible to accomplish. The struggles with getting exports for farmers to, that's what you've put in place as a digital solution for local economies, which is profound. That's legacy stuff. What do you need to keep Maua going and growing? And do you want to go regional? Is that part of the plan?
Thank you. So we wouldn't have been able to realize this vision if it wasn't for donor funding. We did apply and went through some very vigorous due diligence for funding that we got from GSMA, which is the international association for all telco providers.
Okay.
So we got funding from GSMA to create this platform. And so it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for that funding, grant funding. And we hope, and we've I think delivered on all our milestones for the grant fund, and we're now in 2 more weeks we'll be 3 years old, and
Right.
in 3 we will be 3 years old, and we will launch in Vanuatu. So
Wow.
we certainly want to make this platform available to all Pacific Islands that have same hurdles and barriers that we face in Samoa, and that's how Sky has been able to develop and go regional. Because anything that we develop in Samoa, we always find that it's easily replicated in other islands because we face the same infrastructure hurdles, sometimes legislation hurdles, and of course, we had to create our own street addressing system because
Right.
if you want products to be delivered, and that's what people expect from an e-commerce platform, door-to-door delivery. So Sky had to create our own street addressing, and it's integrated in the platform, and that's the only possible way to have our deliveries at a economical, acceptable cost. Because if you don't accurate street addresses, the driver will be driving around for 10 minutes trying to look, especially in the Pacific with no street addresses. As you know,
I know.
when we
I've been given addresses like under the mango tree many times, so
Yes.
so I know exactly what you mean.
That's how
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my message to any donors who are out there who happen to tune into this is that this is smart investment because you're investing in infrastructure that's not a project, it's infrastructure, it's economic infrastructure, economic development infrastructure. It's got ramifications, as I said, around climate change, economy, health, etc. So it touches many parts of the development sector's objectives. So I would say to the development folks who happen to tune in, this is the guy you should be talking to. He's right here, and you can contact him through us as well. Do you have any final kind of words, Sam?
I believe that you mentioned the donors and how they can assist, and yeah, there's many ways that they can assist, and it's about the ecosystem. It is about the ecosystem, the digital ecosystem, and having that ecosystem being healthy enough to generate enough transaction for the ecosystem to survive. The issue with the Pacific Islands, apart from the infrastructure issues of digital payments, no street addresses, illiteracy is also still a major issue. And the great thing with our platform, we've translated into Samoan. So
I see that.
all
Yeah,
yes, all street vendors and grassroots vendors that have difficulty with the language, they can access it in Samoan. But
right.
yeah, so digital literacy is still a major hurdle if we want everyone to participate in the digital economy. The market size is very difficult for Samoa. Um, 200,000 people, but that
Mm,
immediately shrinks when you look at digital payments. Who has access to digital payments?
yeah,
Who has
yeah.
access to mobile devices or smart devices? So the local market is just too small to sustain, to be sustainable. So that's why it's important to access overseas markets.
Mm,
And we're happy that that has been the biggest growth in our platform. And our grassroots vendors are now benefiting from the global
mm.
access
Man,
of this
after
platform.
years, I've been listening to efforts for years to make that happen, and here you've come up with an app that makes it happen. It's really a digital food revolution in many ways happening in Samoa through Maua. So I really appreciate what you're doing, Sam, and I look forward to getting to Samoa in person. I am a bit concerned I'll get very fat when I'm there because I keep looking at all your vendors and I know them all and it makes me hungry. But I really appreciate what you're doing and thank you so much for your time today. Um, I just want to thank also FAO for facilitating this conversation and the New Zealand and Australian governments for continuing to support Pacific Island Food Revolution and small business innovators like Sam and Samoa. So really appreciate it. Great to see you.
Thank,
And go Maua all the way. Can't wait.
thank you very much, Robert. Grateful
Yeah.
for those words. And we can't wait to welcome you back. We believe in our goals, in making this inclusive. An inclusive digital economy will benefit everyone and hopefully provide a great platform to have all elevate all our small vendors that don't usually get the attention or the highlight or access to the market to
Yeah.
to sell globally. So
Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I really look forward to being at that dinner table with your entire family and seeing what that table looks like now that Maua has
yes,
transformed the tables in Samoa. Thank you so much, Sam.
thank you, love.